Now we're going to talk about using vamps. Vamps are short repeated sections that are effective in beginning and ending a song. They can also be used in the middle to help create energy and provide contrast among the other different sections. For our purposes, I think it's going to be easiest if we write a vamp that just uses a three-note rhythm. In this case, I think it's like just a very safe sort of formulaic approach. But of course, as you're beginning to be more creative, I encourage you to branch out and use different ideas. When writing this three-note rhythm, I would suggest writing something that alternates being on and off the beat. You can start on the beat, you can start off the beat, but I would come up with a rhythm that alternates between the two. I think that might most effectively sort of create something that's interesting. In this example here, I've written something that starts on the beat, so we have something on beat 1, and then is off the beat on the end of 2, and then again on the beat on beat 4. It's sort of similar to the 3-bar part of the clave rhythm. Ideally, you'll have some type of harmonic goal or harmonic idea in mind, but if you don't, you could start a course just by using something that's in the tonic of the given key. In previous examples, we've talked about the song There Will Be Another You, which is generally in the key of E flat. So in this case, I'll use the key of E flat as a possibility. Now, if you don't want to just stay on one given chord, you could always explore moving up or down diatonically from that given root. Another possibility you could explore is moving up and then back down chromatically. These approaches we could talk about as arriving to or returning from a given chordal area. So in this case, the first example, we're moving away from E flat. Second example, we're moving from and returning to E flat. And then here in this last example, we are moving to E flat. So again, that's leaving from, returning to, and moving to. There's sort of three different ideas that could be utilized. In this case too, we have two examples that will sort of keep us in that E flat area. One example, the returning to E flat, that's much more chromatic and adds a very different sort of flavor to the vamp section itself. This is very effective when you're wanting to sort of get away from just being in the tonic key. Once you have sort of some harmonic goal in mind that lines up with the rhythm you've written, another way you could sort of further expand this vamp idea is writing a little bass line that alternates, that sort of fills in the space from the rhythm that you've written. In this case, I think it might be interesting to write a little bass line based on this chromatic progression where we have the notes E flat, B flat, E flat on 1, the end of 1, 2, and then on the and of 2, lining up with our vamp rhythm, that's where we'll transition from E. So we have a nice little chromatic movement going from E flat up to E on the and of 2. Then, to bring us back to E flat major, we'll have a little rhythm again that sort of utilizes this chromatic movement, but maybe on beat 4 we'll land on B flat, the 5 of E flat, to create a little variety and a little bit of an interesting rhythm that's sort of complementary of the vamp rhythm that's written above. In this case, I think I've made a small error. I should need to fix one of the note heads here. Again, now that you sort of have a basic idea of what this vamp rhythm might look like, there's plenty of room to be creative and take different ideas. The first, of course, is coming up with a rhythm that maybe uses less or more notes. You can come up with a 2-note rhythm, a 4-note rhythm, a 5-note rhythm. Of course, in this case, I played it safe by just picking a 2-bar phrase, but you could do a 1-bar or a 3-bar, 4-bar, 6-bar, 8-bar phrase. There's lots of great examples of this. I always like the Vern Seelert You Must Believe in Spring arrangement. It's got a great vamp section in the middle where the alto saxophone solo happens that uses great 6-bar phrases. That's awesome. You could, of course, use this as an opportunity to explore some different sounds and some different coloring. Instead of just maybe E flat major 7, maybe do something a little bit more adventurous and use E flat major 7 sharp 5. By picking something that's more colorful, sometimes that means you don't necessarily have to use the same type of credential progressions or even chromatic progressions because you already have firm color just with that alone. Hopefully this helps and gives you some ideas on how to start writing some interesting vamps for your big band chart.